Welcome to Marketing Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. Join Stacy and learn from her 20 years of experience as she shares top-notch advice on marketing best practices for brands and walks you through how to leverage entertainment content and influencer partnerships to increase your brand's overall consumer engagement and, most importantly, your sales.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing Mistakes and How to Avoid Them. I'm Stacy Jones, and today I'm going to talk to you about how tech brands can leverage content marketing to help drive brand awareness and trigger sales. There are, in fact, so many different ways tech brands can use pop culture that I'm going to be breaking this podcast up into 2 different podcast episodes. The big buzzwords in marketing today are driven by 2 facets of pop culture: influencer marketing and content marketing. And having your brand become embedded and partnered with that content that either influencers are generating, production companies are creating, or that which your brand creates itself are the surefire ways to get noticed. The problem with producing your own content is that you as a brand also have to figure out how to distribute that content once it's been created. And that's not so easy. That's why so many brands are partnering with influencers, TV shows, feature films, music videos, video games, or events that offer turnkey capabilities. Those third parties build a storyline around your brand, and they bring the audience as well. And what is so great is that branded content partnerships work with any targeted age range, be that Gen Z, Millennials, Gen Xers, or Baby Boomers, and beyond. Product placement works, and it has impacted thousands of brands across dozens of categories over the years. And when you add in messaging and provide a deeper look inside the brand, it can make your sales absolutely soar. Tech brands are a natural fit for content and influencer partnerships. From on-set product placement to a product that an actor might hold in a scene, or a fictional conversation about the next big investment coming out of Silicon Valley, brands are woven into scenes on every TV show, feature film, or music video, and into the content that influencers post about on a daily basis. It is a fact that art mimics life, and those creators on set want to have that cool thing that everyone else is talking about, or will be talking about. Opportunities can range from passive placement by just being part of the video scene, or a photo when it comes to influencer social posts, to the brand being built into the storyline, or even an entire scene scripted discussion featuring the brand. And these product placements can evolve into being full-blown marketing campaigns with PR extensions, in-store promotions at retail, social media, digital overlays, TV campaigns, and more. Content marketing does one really big thing for brands of all types. If you can manage to get a third party to include you in their content, you have instant validation. You are worthy. You are credible. You are a brand to be taken notice of. Because after all, especially when it comes to Hollywood and celebrities, they aren't going to let their name be next to just any kind of brand. Or at least that's the perception. You get your approved by stamp from these partnerships, and it goes a long way in shaping your brand's identity. As you start thinking about content partnerships, keep the following opportunities in mind. The first one we're going to discuss is scripted TV shows. If you have a brand that's a gadget or electronic, then having it on a TV set is going to provide a lot of exposure. I mean, a crazy amount. Prop masters and set decorators, those are those people who get to actually choose what gets access to be on the set, love loan tech equipment. It makes their jobs easier when they're trying to set up a scene to be as realistic as possible. TV writers want to stay hip, and they love writing about technology partnerships. And directors love having something cool and cutting edge to focus the camera on. And by the way, did you pick up that word I just used? Loaned. Just because something goes to set does not mean it's never going to be returned. In fact, our agency warehouses all of our product. We get certificates of insurance to help safeguard against loss or breakage. We check that brand out to the production, and then we get it checked back in upon the confirmation of filming. And off it goes to another production right away. I once worked on integrating a state-of-the-art Philips open-air MRI machine on the set of Grey's Anatomy. That thing was massive. The show was practically drooling over it because the technology was brand new. It was so state-of-the-art that was not even established in hospitals yet anywhere in the world. And we had a tech crew from the Netherlands fly out to set up the shell of the system as a permanent part of the Grey's Anatomy set. And when Grey's Anatomy was done with it, and it did go on to another set, in fact, a TV show by David Kelly. When Silicon Valley had a trade show scripted for one of their episodes, HulaCon, the props and set department had to build it from scratch. And boy, did tech brands win big, including our client Fleer. We built out an entire fake booth for the trade show environment and had a staff on hand of fake trade show workers for the shoots. We also worked with BlackBerry for over 8 years, placing the mobile phones in every relevant business setting and helping make it become the favored phone of Hollywood. Times do change and technology can fall out of favor, But our work in Hollywood with the set decorators and prop masters, producers and directors still has them enamored with the brand and asking for it on a weekly basis. Tech brands can entirely change a scene and influence the audience's perception of who the character types are. What I'm getting at here is tech brands can actually entirely change a scene and influence the audience's perception of who the character types are. And that's important to the production, and that's important to your brand. But let's say you want to have a bigger role than passive placement or being used in the scene by a character. Let's say you want an actual storyline all about your brand. It's harder to get a show on board for that, and this is going to be the most expensive direction to go, and the least controllable messaging, as the show writers have complete creative control over the content. Typically, the most the brand is going to get with unscripted content is usage of the product and logo exposure. No call-outs to action for purchases, no co-branded promotions off the show itself for television. Most network TV shows that are scripted are no-nos for this type of exposure for brands, as they require a massive multi-million-dollar media buy. Seriously, $5 million minimum or even a $10 million minimum, commitment for general advertising, and then a fee of $1 million for the storyline. Most brands, realistically, aren't budgeted to do this. And that's okay. There are other ways to get the exposure and the storyline to happen. But here's the big but. If your brand is cool enough and offers something really unique, sometimes we can help you sneak in and get some really great product placement exposure on scripted network TV. Cable networks are better overall for storyline opportunities and price control. Networks like Starz, Showtimes, and HBO, they offer more options. But even these have limits as far as accepting dollars for the scripted storylines sometimes, as HBO, as an example, typically does not allow fees for brands to appear in the productions, as they don't want to offend paying subscribers. So in most cases, tech brands are going to be looking at television for opportunities for product placement, for being in a scene, or being held by a character. And there may be opportunities for messaging, especially if large dollars are thrown at it to support. The next way tech brands can leverage content is through feature films. And feature films are so great. I love them. Much like scripted TV, feature films offer passive product placement as well as larger placements, including storyline. But keep in mind that's going to be a 12 to 18 month time frame before the film's going to be released, which might not fit your must-have-it-now marketing needs. And the brand that you have in 18 months, 24 months might not be what's actually on shelf at retail then. So feature films are really great to think about for pure branding versus product pushing. If you can wait it out though, feature films offer a fantastic option to co-promote the film around your planned advertising. It makes building a 360-degree campaign that jumps off the screen and into retail, TV, print, digital marketing, and beyond come to life. Our team just did that with a brand partnership deal with FLIR, which is a thermal camera, and Dwayne Johnson's Rampage, where we had their corporate plane, which was fully loaded with demo cameras, do flyovers with their pilots during the scene in the canyon to capture the footage at night. As part of that partnership, FLIR received verbal mentions and logo shots in the appropriately themed military scenes and other parts of the film. The cool factor of the technology is what interested the production, and the production savings value, since it was millions of dollars worth of plane and camera technology. The fact is here, we could offer something that was very cost savings to their bottom line expenditures. The fact here was that we could offer something that was very much so cost savings to their bottom line expenditures. It was a big win. And with feature films, your brand may even be included in the trailer. We just did a partnership with Bumble and Candice Bergen in the movie book club. Before the movie even came out, the movie's trailer featured Bumble in its national advertising. And not just one trailer, that was 2 trailers. A third option for tech brands to leverage content marketing is with reality TV shows. These are different than scripted TV shows. Yes, there are reality shows like Jersey Shore or New York Housewives, but there are also a ton of reality programs that offer really great fits for tech brands. From the new upcoming Brand Made TV series on Science Channel, which breaks down how brands are created while featuring the engineers, marketers, and all those who helped launch it, to all the outdoor adventure productions, DIY home remodeling, cooking series, or even going into your talent contest shows, your makeover contests, your modeling, your project runways, your America's Next Top Models. Those have opportunities to bring in technology. And in reality, all tech brands have a phenomenal opportunity to make really big brand appearances and impact in these types of productions. We did a partnership with FLIR, I mentioned it before, as a thermal camera in Expeditions Unknown, and we helped the production find the Yeti. I did say that. We do a lot of work with shows to help them find ghosts, too. And we also use the thermal cameras to showcase water damage and home DIY shows and outdoor adventure series where they journey by way of thermal as they can't see at night. Content offers storylines of all types, including those that are a little bit more humorous. A fourth way tech brands can leverage content marketing is with morning and daytime talk shows. One of the best ways to control messaging and gain mega viewers' attention is through morning and daytime talk shows. The View, The Talk, Rachel Ray, The Chew, Ellen, The Doctors, Live with Kelly and Ryan. These are all just examples. Just realize the majority of these audiences are going to be women 55 plus. Yet, that doesn't send most brands running away anymore. These women, many of whom are moms, talk a lot and socially share and converse. They love sharing what they have seen with their adult children and their friends. With talk shows, there are numerous ways to control messaging and to feature products on screen, and even have the host have a conversation around the brand. A brand spokesperson can often be part of the segment, and we can even build in calls to action, sweepstakes, or social interactions with the brand segments. One of the partnerships we built out was with Ellen and Bumble, where the app was built into Ellen's opening show monologue. Ellen is actually a tech brand dream, especially with the 12 days of holiday giveaways to the audience members. Just plan on giving away over 450 units of product in that case. You can also focus on other markets. We've had great success in building out partnerships with other morning and daytime talk shows with Spanish language programming, like we did for Vengala Alegria and Gigaset. A fifth way tech brands can leverage content is with early evening entertainment news. It's a great option with shows like Access Hollywood, Extra, and Entertainment Tonight. Again, the show hosts here can provide conversational messaging about the brand, and in some instances have that brand spokesperson on the show. With entertainment news programming, there's also the feel of being a little more news-oriented than talk shows. Plus, the option of a digital overlay with links back to the brand's website exists. We did a cool partnership with an RFD card called Stealth that protects your credit cards from having a thief lift the numbers with Mario Lopez and Extra, where we had both the founder of the company and Mario talk about the technology. It was really cool. As a sixth way tech brands can leverage content marketing, think about local and regional news programming. A smaller audience, but one that's still extremely engaged, are those who watch local and regional news programming. Again, the idea here would be to have a brand spokesperson on or to have the show do a live segment featuring the brand in some way. We've done segments covering restaurant openings, cosmetic laser procedures, to hotel resort coverage, complete with a win-a-trip giveaways to create a controlled storyline. This is typically one of the most affordable options, but it's also going to have a smaller audience than a national talk or news program. We'll work with a number of medical aesthetic brands, and both local and regional news programming are a great fit because we can have both the technology product and the key opinion leader, the KOL, that's a partner to the brand as a spokesperson be featured. As a seventh way for tech brands to leverage content marketing, think about regional and syndicated lifestyle programs. Regional lifestyle programs are going to be very similar to the local news and among the most affordable options for segments to be built out fully and controlled. A lot of these shows run in fringe time frames where those who are sleepless at night or early morning risers or even Saturday morning viewers are going to tune in. These productions allow a brand typically to create a self-owned segment, and they're funded by the brand partnerships that come on board fully. And what I mean by this is you're going to partner with this show and you're going to get 3 to 5 minutes of your spokesperson and their host talking about your brand, featuring all the beauty shots in a pre-planned way that you can then take this produced content and show it at your trade shows, show it in investor meetings, even potentially show it on your website, link back to YouTube or something along those lines. At the end of the day, you're going to own the content. As an eighth way tech brands can leverage content marketing partnerships, think about game shows. Some of the TV programming with the largest early evening or daytime programming are game shows. These typically have enormous viewership. Crazy numbers sometimes that people don't really realize. The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or other game shows that are brought out by network TV in the evening hour get a wide range of viewers ranging from college to 55 plus. These shows have the ability to interweave a brand into a featured message or even a week-long sponsorship. And as the ninth and final, just for this podcast discussion, satellite media tours. Often thought of as an old-school public relations tool, we can build packaged traditional satellite tours today where a segment hosted by a spokesperson is filmed and set to look like it's in a specific environment. And then it's pushed out to a variety of syndication outlets who will pick it up and run it on various local news markets where they have time slots open for some pay-for-play content to live. You can get some oddball markets with this approach, but the cost is extremely fair, and additional targets can be added on as well. And if you're even thinking of local news or regional lifestyle programming, then satellite media tours are something to add to your bucket list to think about. So I've covered a lot of content partnership options in this podcast, and no doubt you have some more questions. And this is really the tip of the iceberg. There's augmented reality opportunities and virtual reality, there are digital web series, and so much more available for brands to take a sponsored role in. The true trick is to make sure that whatever you are partnering with offers the ability to bake in branding and marketing messaging so your brand story has the ability to stand out and be noticed. Make sure you tune into my next podcast, where I'm going to be expanding the conversation on how tech brands can leverage branded content and product placement to increase brand awareness and sales. In that episode, I talk about 9 more ways non-TV and feature film-driven platforms, including music videos, video gaming, airline content, podcasts, blogging, influencers, traditional PR, and celebrity endorsements can help a tech brand leverage content marketing. Product placement and content marketing are fun, a lot of fun, and they give you some fantastic social media content to share through your social platforms, as well as great fodder for board and investor meetings. Look, the reality is celebrity sells. They sell movies and content in Hollywood every day, and brands have a fantastic opportunity to jump on that sales bandwagon as well. If you want to master influencer marketing, or have someone on your team do so, and get your head around the best practices and what to avoid, our team has created an online class which offers basic, comprehensive, and advanced knowledge programs for you to learn from. Check out learn.hollywoodbranded.com to find out how you can easily up your influencer marketing game. And stop by hollywoodbranded.com for more tips. Look at our library, which has infographics, white papers, ebooks, and videos, or our blog, blog.hollywoodbranded.com, which has hundreds of helpful hints on how to make brand influencer and entertainment content partnerships a success from the get-go. That's it for this episode. I hope it was helpful, and please let me know if you have any feedback. I'll see you next week. And as always, if you need a little or a lot of help, my agency, Hollywood Branded, is here to lend a hand. If you'd leave a review or any questions I can address in the future, I'd really appreciate it, as your feedback helps me know my advice is valuable and interesting to you.
Are you ready to make the magic of product placement, celebrity event activations, or influencer partnerships help your sales? Visit hollywoodbranded.com to gain access to free content,